Hey everyone, happy Monday. Bill Sheridan with the Maryland Association of CPAs here with another great CPA story to start your week. We've been interviewing members near and far over the past few weeks in search of the purpose behind the profession, right? The why behind what CPAs do. And this week we're talking with Rob Goldstein. Rob is a member of the MACPA's board of directors. He is also CFO of Paul Davis Restoration in Hunt Valley, Maryland. And in many of these conversations, we've been stressing the point that every business on the planet, first of all, is unique, right? Fills a very specific need. And Paul Davis Restoration is a great example. They provide services to repair and clean up damage to residential and commercial structures that have been damaged by storms, fire, water, mold, other disasters. And businesses like this, they couldn't do this type of work without CPAs, right? I mean, it just drives home the point to me that anything you're interested in as a career, there's work to be had in this profession because every business on the planet survives through its accounting function. So great talk this week with Rob. Pay particular attention, by the way, when he starts talking about the purpose behind his work, his why. He says his why is helping others realize their why. And he explains here in just a few minutes. Pretty powerful stuff. Here's Rob Goldstein with his CPA story.
Whether you believe this or not, I think I was about 7 or 8 years old. My uncle had his own accounting firm in Philadelphia. And when he used to come to visit us back home in Baltimore, he used to test myself, my brother, my cousins with all kinds of different number games. It obviously taught us math, but it was just one of those things. I loved how numbers just sort of seemed to have their own logic and sensibility. Love to see how you could utilize numbers in different types of formats. We were big into baseball, and obviously following it, started to play the Stratomatic games and would calculate players' averages, and like numbers was just part of our life growing up. And as we got into high school, this was during the time when we were coming out of, I guess, the recession back in the early mid '80s. And my uncle had said that, Rob, if you're looking at a career choice, public accounting is stable. The world needs good accountants to help measure business. He says, and you'll get the opportunity. This is what really turned me on. He said, you'll get the opportunity if you go into public accounting to see all different types of businesses, not-for-profits, and then maybe decide if you want to stay in public accounting or maybe go to work for one of these entities. But what a great way to get a taste of everything. And that's what really attracted me, those two things, love of numbers and the opportunity to get to see a wide range of possibilities.
That's such a great way of looking at it. That this, everybody needs accountants, right? And every business on the planet needs that type of function and kind of base line of service. And as an accountant, it's almost like you get to choose where your passion lies and work within the things that you really care deeply about because everybody needs accounting, right?
And but I will be honest with you, when I embarked upon my career in public, I was at the Philadelphia office of KPMG. I was 19 years old. I did my first internship and ended up, like I said, started my career there, but really had no idea of the true value that a CPA could provide. Even when I was already working in public accounting. And that's been an interesting evolution of how I've utilized my CPA over the years. And I think part of the reason that we're chatting today.
Yeah. Well, tell me, and some of that you might have already touched on a little bit of this, but what do you see as the purpose or the why behind your work? What do you accomplish by doing what you do?
This is I'm going to say that probably up until maybe 7 years ago, I really hadn't thought through that completely. And not to get off into a long drawn out story, I found a client of mine who I was with a consulting firm here in Baltimore. And one of my clients actually became a mentor of mine. And we sat one day and I remember him saying, as I'm still trying to figure certain things out. He said, Rob, figure out what your personal mission is. He said, why are you here on this earth? And what do you love to do, but why do you love to do it? And as I kind of started upon that little project, I started to think about why I'm here and how am I utilizing my overall skill sets to the advancement of my own mission, which is loosely just to help people wherever I can. And, it was kind of an epiphany really just recently that, the fact that I'm a CPA gives me the opportunity to help other people find their why, to realize their own vision, whether it's, I've worked for family run businesses and their goal is to leave, have generational wealth. They can leave something greater to their family members and to their descendants. It could be, I've worked with owners and they've come out and said, I want to make sure that I have a company that's healthy, that's growing because I love my employees so much and I want to make sure they have a great place to come to work and I can help them support their families. One of the not-for-profits, the JCC of Greater Baltimore, I'm just strictly a volunteer as a board member and a finance committee member. But there, it's even a greater role. We want to help. I want to play my part as a financial expert to help them strategize and also realize their mission, which is really providing services into our community. So long answer to this short question, but my why is to help others realize their why. And my little bit of expertise in the financial area hopefully will help them in accomplishing that.
That's fantastic. And you may have just answered my next question, but what's most gratifying about your work? What really inspires you about what you do and who you get to work with?
It's learning that's the other thing. It's learning every day. I always thought that in order to be a good accountant, once you learn the rules and regs, you're done. You're never not learning, but shameless plug for your podcast and a couple of other podcasts, Journal of Accountancy. I love learning about where our profession is headed, how we're utilizing new technology, listening to some interviews with futurists. Where's our profession heading? And the conversations are turning more towards not so much on the technical side per se, the accounting technical side, but how are we, especially with the advent of better technology and AI, we're being called upon to offer up more of our analytical skills, our critical thinking skills, our communicative skills. So that's the part of the future of accounting that I'm really excited about. It's moving away just from pure numbers, but really turning those numbers, really making them come alive and really helping. And I've heard this a number of times from my employers, clients. Rob, thank you for helping me bring the financial statements to life. You're telling me the story behind the financials, and you're helping me figure out if the decisions that we're making as a team are working. So
that's great.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic way of looking at it. And you're right, so much of the conversation just in general these days is about the march of new technology and all the things that these fantastic new technologies are going to be doing for us. And it seems like the more quickly those types of things advance, the more we realize that the really important stuff are those relationships that we have with other people and the work that we do with them and bringing it, down to that kind of human level almost, and staying focused on that, because those are the skills that are irreplaceable, right? Technology will automate the stuff that can be automated, and it should, but that's freeing us up to do that really critical work that's so important.
And it's all about you said it's the human component. How many times do you hear and see we value our relationships? We're a relations-based company. We're not a transaction-based company. And I hear it, but I don't see it a lot. And I think that the CPA can play a critical role in helping to develop the relationships amongst folks on their team in the greater company, strategic partnerships with various vendors, suppliers, other constituencies. And I think because of we're very unique, and because of the nature of our business, we have to know not just the numbers, but what's driving those numbers, whether it's on the revenue or cost side. And I think we're uniquely positioned to be able to have the conversations, not just with the accounting team, not just with the director of marketing, the CEO, the COO, but also with our banks, with our insurance provider, our benefits brokers, with various customer groups that our company may belong to. And I think that if CPAs can realize and recognize that opportunity is unique based on their skill sets, I think that again, it adds to the value that they can add to the organization as a whole.
Let's say that let's say I'm a high school or a college student, kind of struggling to figure out where I want to go. What do I want to do? What would you tell me about accounting?
What I would do is tell them that if they were looking for a potential career path that gave them the ability to help people, and I said help people. That's not B or C, but help people. B, have the opportunity to venture into a number of different types of disciplines. Whether it's manufacturing, distribution, government. If you wanted something which enabled you to go into almost any type of discipline, or I should say, I guess, field, that they should definitely take a look at it. And if they wanted to be able to see, not just hear, but see how they could provide concrete value to the organization, especially, this generation and the generation coming up is very much into, how do I add value? I want to go somewhere that has a mission that I believe in, and that I know and I can touch the value that I can add to an organization. Yep. And I think that's where I would start with them, because there are such a wide range of choices, and there is no wrong path. If they venture down one path, it doesn't make sense. That's okay. They can always double back. And then I think the other thing is what's always been true. I was told this by, I actually, my son had interviewed for a high school internship with the old Hertzback and Company. And I remember during the interview, he told me, the person I met with said something, accounting is the building block of any organization. Mm-hmm. And if you understand the accounting aspect of it, you can really understand any type of an entity. And it just throws endless possibilities out at you. Even if you decide to leave public accounting to start your own business or go into your venture, there's nothing that can't be utilized from starting off in accounting. But I think that's kind of how I would approach it. But do you like working with people? Because the days of an accountant sitting in an office with four walls is gone. Right. They will either actively or passively find themselves out of work. You've got to get out and you've got to talk to employees, your coworkers. You've got to meet with your suppliers, your customers. So first and foremost, it's those interpersonal skills that are so important. And I would say that is, if you're looking for something where you can utilize those skill sets, then you should definitely take a look at it. Doesn't hurt that you love numbers too. Right. That's just part of it. But I think I would lead with that personal aspect.
Great stuff there from Rob Goldstein. So glad he could take time out of his busy schedule to be with us here today. We want to hear from you too. So head on over to macpa.org/Y and share your story with us as we try to offer a little bit of inspiration to the next generation of accounting and finance professionals. We want to hear what your CPA purpose is too. So head on over to our website, help us out there. And in the meantime, thanks for being here today with me. We'll be back again next week. More CPA stories to share then. And until then, have a great week. Talk to you soon. Take care.